little bit of research was done. I have some interesting things that I can't say I found. A friend of mine found it and told me it, very interesting enough that is in regards to the seven deadly sins. So this chapter, let me talk about the chapter and then we'll go over essentially what I found. And I'm sure there are people that will watch this video and will have found it themselves. If so, comment below. Tell me if you caught it, because I didn't catch it until someone helped me. So, as we were at the end of the last chapter, Merlin teleported the seven deadly sins. They're back to, they're back at the kingdom, and there's some worry there. Obviously, Meliodas is a little bit distraught over everything. You have pretty much everyone. Oh, cool, it's all good and everything's all settled down now. But obviously, Meliodas knows that that's not really the case. Meanwhile, they're back with Merlin. Merlin is talking to Arthur, who he's like asleep, and he's got his sword, his cool like weird checkered like black and white sword, who has like the angelic and bat-like little like things flying around it, saying that she isn't sure that it doesn't have a set shape, or if as she's like, oh, maybe he hasn't perfected controlling like the chaos yet. Maybe that's why. Maybe it will have some ultimate shape when it gets there. But when Arthur wakes up, they're kind of just discussing that, it's like, oh, this is the, I'm finally seeing the you that I know so well, because she's, like, very curious about his sword and whatnot. As Merlin has been, she's always just had a very, like, huge glutton for learning and knowledge unfound. But while she's talking to him and saying, like, I hope you don't hold a grudge on me or something, or I think she's saying, like, sorry, I'm not surprised if you have a grudge against me. I revived you as the King of Chaos to satisfy, my own wants. But Arthur is seeing it more of a positive light. He's like, the darkness and the light, they couldn't really meet up with chaos. But with this power, like, as it's led by us, like a good will, a good heart, a good person, then I can create a world of prosperity, like a world of just peace for everybody, not just the humans, for essentially just an absolute, like, paradise-like land. I mean, imagine with that power, with like a reality warping ability, you'd be able to kind of just create things at will. So you could probably just make food, make medicine, cure people. I mean, we don't know the extent of like the chaos. I mean, it's hyped up to being what created the world. We've at least seen that it can alter the landscape and just like create creatures and stuff. I am very curious to know what the full extent is. All like this like super high end like crazy like exaggerations like create the world. Believable after seeing stuff, but I mean, as far as we know, it's it's exaggeration. We don't also know how long it took. I mean, but after seeing what it's shown in a unmastered state, it wouldn't surprise me if he could slowly reshape the world. It'd be cool just to see like if he was a character just kind of floating around, like hovering, like like a mile off the land, and instead he's just like looking down and reshaping the world, like a guy playing like a some Sims or something, some RTS game. But well, everyone else is kind of like thinking about like we don't really get what the problem is, Meliodas. Like even if this is what Merlin wanted, like we're all good now. The Demon King's defeated. Chaos has been destroyed. And poor Hawk's all sad about Escanor. I think we're all pretty bummed about it. The seven deadly sins is gonna end, and a bond. Like if there's a beginning, there's gonna end. Even if Escanor is no longer there, and there's some pretty bum stuff, but Meliodas knows that it's not done yet. There's still stuff to be done. And like when he's talking about it, he's like that the power that Arthur had, he's reshaping the world unconsciously, and like what Cath was able to do with his power. And he's like, it's something that I've never seen or never really like fathomed. So like if he's not able to control that, it will create this like living hell, just absolute like nightmare monsters all over, and people will suffer. I think one of the things that I'm just gonna predict is when you see the sword, like when Arthur's like saying how he'd create a better world, like a peaceful world, and you see part of the sword like the little black bat-like entities like crumble away, so it's just a white like angelic light. My guess is that he can't sustain this because this is a chaos power. This is in between good and evil. Well, good in between light and dark. And the thing though, it's not just like, oh, you have light and dark powers. It's you have the power of chaos. You can't have like this tranquil kind of state. It wouldn't make sense really to what this whole theme is. I think that what will happen is when he like the sword like fully turns like more angelic and holy, it will kind of like want to balance itself out because it's chaos. It doesn't want to be one-sided. It doesn't want to be light. It's going to want to be in between both, which is my guess is what's going to happen in the future. probably in a couple chapters from now, while like Arthur and Merlin are talking, and they're saying like, he's like talking about Camelot, and the Seven Sins, they send him back there, and Merlin was gonna reveal something about Camelot, which I'm interested to see what the reveal is. I have this weird suspicion that Camelot isn't real. Like, the Camelot that we've seen is like an illusion, because we know, like, when she was first introduced, like, Arthur's army was entirely fake. It was all like a big, it was all just an illusion made by Merlin. Maybe part of the reason, like, she did, like, make a fake Camelot is in order, like, to kind of, like, lead Arthur down this. Like, maybe the whole, like, pulling the sword out of the stone thing was all just in, like, planned and played out and didn't really happen. It was her forging this character, like, in his own, like, almost placebo-like adventure, placebo effect-like adventure, that she was able to get him to this spot. But after that point, there's like a big tremor, and outside of the place, as you can see in this picture, outside of their tower, is Cath. Now, Cath returning is interesting. So when I saw the spoiler this morning, and I thought it was maybe a different chaos creature, because I was thinking maybe it's going to be a bunch of different chaos monsters that were like, old creatures that Chaos created that it locked away, and they're all coming back now in order to try and eat Chaos. So this, what I found, is more interesting. Well, not that I found, someone else found. So apparently Cath Palug, I thought it was just like a name, just like, oh, like he took cat and put an H on their Cath and then just made like some cool Lovecraftian name. But actually, if you look it up, Cath Palug is like this creature from Welsh mythology. His name means like Palug's cat, which is like this this creature that in legend killed King Arthur. And I'm very curious to know, at that point, like, what does Nakaba have planned? Because this, like I've said, Nakaba having planned all this stuff, I did really like. I have really liked like all this stuff with the chaos, because he has foreshadowed this for a while. We knew that Cath was weird beforehand, but finding out the whole issue, or the whole issues about how Cath was watching and waiting and getting ready to, but then looking further into it and finding out, like, from the legends, this is like a creature that in the story killed King Arthur. I really like this idea now that this monster is going to constantly be evolving, just get more horrifying every time. And with the chaos power, it's fully reasonable that Cath, he would be able to make his own legion. Because, I mean, I don't know how long that series could go with it, writing on one character. If this is the one enemy, until maybe it'll just be Cath until Arthur maybe becomes kind of consumed with chaos, and like I said, more of like a not a good person, not a bad person, just like chaos. He creates a lawless, wild land where it's pretty much just fight and survive, which again would fully line up with the whole theme of chaos. So, like I said, I very much enjoyed this. I've been critical on Seven Deadly Sins for a while now. If you go back and watch on my review on the chapter where, even further back, some of the further ones before I took a break, I was very mixed at that point about the series, and then when I came back to it, was when Elizabeth had her almost death when the rock fell. I was mad. I was really unhappy about the series. And I was very up and down with a lot of stuff. Like, I was happy to see the Endura, but then the Endura kind of got thrown away. Like, there was a lot of stuff that really upset me. But I've really liked this whole chaos stuff so far. And that's me being very genuine. Like, going into... I don't think I've been this, like, excited going into Seven Deadly Sins as, like, back when, we first got introduced to Image, just because they were very fun. And they kind of fell off a little bit. But I think Nakaba has been waiting longer for this, for all this chaos stuff. Because right now, like, Meliodas is not up to snuff. He can't compete with some of this big stuff. But we knew that he was all hyped up to be like, oh, you're gonna live up to the title and whatnot. But that was where he was going to climb up to, and now he's finally at the top, and he sees that there's this chaos being, far off above him, that he's either going to have to figure out how to take down or figure out how to rise above. In which, that I really do both enjoy the idea of, because like, I thought it was like, oh, he's going to be peak after beating the Demon King. Oh, he unlocked his true power, and then he was going to be the strongest, and it turns out he's the strongest so long. No, the chaos, like, the King of Chaos is definitely more powerful than him. Got crazier abilities, and he's in this state between light and dark, so you're gonna have both the holy and the dark aspects of the magic for both the deep. Goddess Claim is gonna be really cool, but more of this crazy, wild, like dreamlandish nightmare creation chaos stuff. I am very much happy for, and especially because like I mentioned with the Endura, I really wanted like the designs and more of them because like I mean cool monsters, love them. So like Cath and all these chaos beings. Me, I'm really having a lot of fun reading it, and it's been a long time. It's you gotta understand. It's been a long time since I've been genuinely like happy and excited for a Seven Deadly chapter. Like I said, the last time I was actually pretty excited for it was like when the Ten Commandments were all still flexing their powers. It was just fun to see all these big crazy moves, all these wild characters, just like Gallon when he first showed up. But all the chaos stuff I really love. Anyway, comment below, tell me your thoughts are about all this. Like I said, I really want to see all this chaos stuff take. I want to see what exactly Cath is capable of now, because they thought he died, but it looks like he's still around. I mean, Merlin's gonna fight him, but I don't really know what Merlin's gonna do. I don't like Merlin, but I'm at least happy enough to know that I don't think she can kill Cath. I mean, the Chaos Power couldn't take him out, so she might be able to seal him temporarily in like a perfect cube, but I don't see her doing it. I really appreciate you. Comment below, thumbs up the video, prefer the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. By that, I appreciate everyone subscribed, and I thank you all for listening.